Can I come home with you? 6 words that would change everything. 6 words whispered by a stranger on a cold December afternoon that would force Sebastian Wilson to make an impossible choice. Walk away, or risk everything he'd built for his daughter. This is a story about a desperate woman with nowhere left to run, a single father still haunted by loss, and a decision that would bring danger crashing through their front door. Because the thing about saving someone is, you never really know what you're saving them from, or what might come looking for them. Before we continue, let us know in the comment section where in the world you're tuning in from. We love seeing how far our stories reach. And if this story speaks to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Sebastian stood there, keys dangling from his hand, staring at this woman who just asked the most absurd question he'd heard in years. The parking lot of Miller's pharmacy was nearly empty. Just his truck and a sedan with a bad muffler idling near the exit. "I'm sorry," Jasmine said quickly, looking down at her worn sneakers. I shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry." She started to stand, pulling her thin coat tighter. And that's when Sebastian noticed the bruise on her wrist. Faded, yellowish green. Old, but not that old. "Wait." The word came out before he could stop it. Jasmine froze, half standing, her eyes wide with something between hope and fear. Sebastian's mind raced. This was crazy. He had Chloe to think about. An 8-year-old daughter who'd already lost her mother and didn't need her father bringing home strangers. But Emily's voice echoed in his head, something she'd said years ago. The world's full of people walking past each other's pain. Seb, don't be one of them. "What's your name?" he asked. Jasmine Miller." "I'm Sebastian." He shifted his weight, the medication bag crinkling in his hand. "Look, I don't usually do this, but there's a diner 2 blocks down, Joe's. How about I buy you some coffee, something to eat, and we can talk?" Jasmine's eyes welled up. She nodded quickly, like she was afraid he'd change his mind if she hesitated. 20 minutes later, they sat across from each other in a booth with cracked red vinyl seats. Jasmine had ordered soup and couldn't stop thanking him. Sebastian watched her eat like she hadn't seen food in days, and maybe she hadn't. "How long have you been?" He didn't know how to finish the sentence. "On the streets?" Jasmine said quietly. 3 days. I left. I had to leave where I was staying." Sebastian didn't push. He could see the weight of whatever she wasn't saying pressing down on her shoulders. "Do you have family? Friends?" She shook her head. "Not anymore. Not ones I can go to." The bell above the diner door chimed, and Jasmine flinched, her spoon clattering against the bowl. She looked at the door with pure terror before realizing it was just an elderly couple. Her hands were shaking. Sebastian made a decision that would either be the stupidest or the most decent thing he'd done in 2 years. "I have a guest room," he said slowly. "It's not much, just a pull-out couch, but it's warm. You can stay there tonight. Just tonight," he added quickly. "Tomorrow we'll figure something else out. There are shelters, resources. Thank you." Jasmine's voice cracked. "Thank you so much. I promise I won't be any trouble. I'll leave first thing in the morning, I swear." Sebastian nodded, ignoring the voice in his head, screaming that this was a terrible idea. The drive to his house was quiet. Jasmine sat pressed against the passenger door like she was trying to take up as little space as possible. Sebastian's mind kept circling back to Chloe. How would he explain this? His daughter was smart, sensitive. She'd ask questions. His house sat at the end of Maple Street, a small 2-story with blue shutters that Emily had painted the summer before she got sick. Sebastian pulled into the driveway, and his stomach tightened when he saw Mrs. Gloria's car still there. The babysitter was probably wondering where he'd been. "Listen," he said, turning off the engine. "I have a daughter, Chloe. She's 8. She's been through a lot, lost her mom 2 years ago, so—" "I understand," Jasmine said quickly. "I'll stay out of the way. I promise." Inside, Mrs. Gloria was reading on the couch while Chloe colored at the coffee table. His daughter looked up, her dark curls bouncing, and her eyes went straight to Jasmine. "Daddy, you're late. Who's that?" Sebastian paid Mrs. Gloria, offering an explanation about helping a friend that the older woman clearly didn't buy, but was too polite to question. After she left, he crouched down to Chloe's level. "This is Jasmine. She's going to stay with us tonight. She needs some help, okay?" Chloe studied Jasmine with the brutal honesty of childhood. "Are you sad?" Jasmine's breath caught. "A little bit, yeah." "My mom died," Chloe said matter-of-factly. "That made me really sad. Do you want to color with me? Coloring helps." Something in Jasmine's expression crumbled. "I'd like that." Sebastian made dinner. Nothing fancy, just spaghetti and garlic bread. While Chloe chattered away to Jasmine about school, her friends, her teacher, Mr. Rodriguez, who let them have a class pet hamster. Jasmine listened like every word was precious, smiling at Chloe's stories, and Sebastian found himself watching them from the kitchen. Over dinner, Chloe asked 1,000 questions. Where was Jasmine from? Did she have pets? What was her favorite color? Jasmine answered patiently, but Sebastian noticed what she didn't say. Nothing about family, nothing about her past, nothing about why she'd been sitting on that park bench asking strangers to take her home. After Chloe went to bed, Sebastian set up the guest room while Jasmine hovered in the doorway. "I really can't thank you enough," she said softly. "You don't know what this means." "It's just one night," Sebastian reminded her, more for himself than her. "Right, one night." But the way she said it sounded like she didn't believe tomorrow would bring any better options. Sebastian headed upstairs, but sleep wouldn't come. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering what the hell he'd just done. Emily would have called him a soft-hearted fool. She also would have done the exact same thing. Downstairs he heard movement, soft footsteps. He got up quietly and peered over the railing. Jasmine stood by the front window, pulling back the curtain just slightly, staring out into the dark street, watching, waiting for something, or someone. Sebastian's chest tightened. Whatever Jasmine was running from wasn't just poverty or bad luck. It was something that had her checking the windows at midnight, jumping at every sound. He went back to bed, but the question burned in his mind. What had he just brought into his home? 3 days passed, and Jasmine was still there. Sebastian told himself it was because she needed a little more time. The shelters were full, he'd called. The social services office wouldn't have an appointment available until next week. Practical reasons, logical reasons. The truth was simpler and more complicated. Chloe had gotten attached. His daughter lit up around Jasmine in a way she hadn't since Emily died. She'd drag Jasmine to her room to show her drawings, insist she help with homework, beg her to read bedtime stories in funny voices. And Jasmine played along with a gentleness that made Sebastian's chest ache. But he noticed other things too. The way Jasmine tensed whenever a car door slammed outside. How she'd positioned herself at dinner so she could see both the front door and the back. The fact that she barely slept. He'd come downstairs for water at 2 a.m. and found her wide awake, sitting in the dark, On the fourth morning, Sebastian found her in the kitchen making pancakes. Chloe sat at the table, swinging her legs and chattering about a field trip coming up. "You don't have to do this," Sebastian said, grabbing the coffee pot. "I want to help. You've done so much for me." Jasmine flipped a pancake expertly. "Besides, Chloe requested chocolate chip pancakes specifically, and I can't disappoint my sous chef." Chloe giggled. That means assistant. It felt dangerously normal, domestic, like this could be his life. After he dropped Chloe at school, Sebastian came back to find Jasmine washing dishes. She'd cleaned the whole kitchen. "Jasmine," he leaned against the counter, "we need to talk." Her hands stilled in the soapy water. "I know. I'm sorry. I'll pack my things." "That's not what I meant." Sebastian ran a hand through his hair. I need to understand what's going on. You can't sleep. You jump every time the doorbell rings. Yesterday, the mailman knocked and you practically dove behind the couch. Jasmine's face went pale. She pulled her hands from the water, gripping the edge of the sink. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable in your own home." "I'm not uncomfortable. I'm worried." Sebastian kept his voice gentle. "You don't have to tell me everything, but I need to know. Are you in danger?" The question hung between them. Jasmine's jaw worked like she was fighting whether to answer. "My ex," she finally whispered. "Jack, he doesn't like letting go of things he considers his." Sebastian's stomach dropped. "Has he hurt you?" Jasmine's hand moved unconsciously to her ribs. "It doesn't matter now. I left. I'm not going back." "Does he know where you are?" "No, I don't think so. I was careful." But her voice wavered with uncertainty. Sebastian wanted to ask more, but Jasmine's phone buzzed on the counter. She looked at the screen, and her entire body went rigid. The color drained from her face. "What is it?" She showed him the phone with a trembling hand. A text from an unknown number. "I know you're still in town. You can't hide forever." Jesus. Sebastian's protective instincts kicked in. "We need to call the police." "No." Jasmine grabbed his arm. "Please, you don't understand. Jack has friends on the force. He'll talk his way out of it, and then he'll be even angrier. I just need to disappear again. I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else. Stop." Sebastian caught her shoulders, forcing her to look at him. "You're not going anywhere alone. Not like this. You don't know him. You don't know what he's capable of." The doorbell rang. They both froze. Jasmine's eyes went wide with animal terror. The bell rang again, followed by aggressive knocking. "Jasmine, I know you're in there." The voice was male, angry, slurred slightly. Sebastian's blood ran cold. "Get upstairs," he said quietly. "Lock yourself in the bathroom." "Sebastian, please!" "Now." Jasmine ran. Sebastian waited until he heard the bathroom door close before walking to the front door. Through the window, he saw a man in his late 30s, unshaven, eyes bloodshot. Jack. Sebastian opened the door but kept his body blocking the entrance. "Can I help you?" "Where is she?" Jack tried to peer past him. "I know she's here. Her phone pinged this address." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't play games with me." Jack's voice turned threatening. "That's my girlfriend. She has some emotional problems. Gets confused. I'm just trying to bring her home where she belongs. If someone's staying here, it's their choice, and they're not going anywhere with you." Jack's expression shifted, turning ugly. "Listen, buddy. I don't know what lies she's told you, but Jasmine belongs to me. We have a relationship, a history. You're just some random guy playing hero. From where I'm standing, She's terrified of you. That tells me everything I need to know. Jack stepped closer, aggressive. You think you're protecting her? You have no idea what you're getting into. Jasmine's broken, damaged. She needs someone who understands her, who can handle her when she gets out of line. Get off my property. Sebastian's voice went cold. Now. Or what? Jack laughed bitterly. You gonna call the cops? Good luck with that. I'll tell them she stole from me, broke into my place, whatever I need to say. They'll believe me over some homeless junkie. She's not homeless, and she's not going anywhere with you. This isn't over. Jack jabbed a finger at Sebastian's chest. You tell Jasmine I'll be waiting. She can play house with you for a while, but she'll come back. They always do. And when she does, there'll be consequences for making me look. Jack stormed back to his truck, a battered Ford with a dented bumper. He sat there for a long moment, staring at the house before finally driving away. Sebastian locked the door with shaking hands and called upstairs.